We are back with our YouTube giveaway truck, this 1975 Ramcharger, and I think we finally have put together a plan.
We got a plan.
We got a plan. We got the beginnings of a plan.
That's it.
Just to get you guys caught up, we're gonna give this truck away to one of our YouTube subscribers when we hit 100,000 subscribers. We got quite a ways to go on that. I think we're about here, and we need to get to about here.
It's a little bit of a road ahead of us, but that's good.
Yeah, which it's good because we've got a lot of work to do.
That's true.
And when I say we, I mostly mean you.
We do. We have a good crew, so we're gonna get her done.
Yeah, absolutely. So today we're gonna kind of run through the first couple steps and things that we're gonna do to this truck. Obviously, step one is all about tearing it down, which is kind of a little bit bittersweet because it's a pretty cool truck right now.
Yeah. So we'll start basically kind of from the front and the bottom and work our way up. But our kind of plan is to separate the body from the chassis initially, and that'll give us a lot of room to work on all the drivetrain, access to the engine components, the transfer case, all the suspension.
We've obviously been back and forth on what to do with the power plant. We ran a poll, we talked about it, we went back and forth with a bunch of ideas. What did we settle on?
We're keeping the 440. There's a lot of room in here, so our options are basically unlimited of what we could put in here. But this truck came with a 440, and that's like that's like a staple in the Mopar community.
Big block Mopar, man. Can't go wrong.
Let's keep it. We're gonna rebuild it. Like you said, we did a poll, and the consensus was that as well. Take it out, have it all freshened up and rebuilt. So it's basically a brand new 440. We'll put a little bit of performance upgrades on it. Phytech fuel injection, maybe some headers.
I was gonna say, are we gonna do heads on that thing?
I think we should do some aluminum cylinder heads.
Yeah.
That'd be a great upgrade for it.
And then maybe a cam. We talked about that RV cam.
Yeah, it's a nice mild cam, nothing too wild, but yeah, we'll get some more horsepower out of it.
Yeah, I mean, the more wild we get, the more we end up replacing everything downstream, right?
Yeah, and I think that's the plan right now. The trans shift's good, so we'll have it out, and we're gonna have it gone through and resealed at the very least, but we'll look at the internals and maybe rebuild that as well.
What's in there right now, the 3-speed?
It's a 727, so Torque Flight 3-speed in there.
Okay. Any thoughts about maybe like upgrading that? I know we had talked about maybe like a GM trans, like that 4L80 or something like that.
Yeah, we could beef it up if we wanted to go overdrive. We might actually look into some overdrive, depending on the condition of this one. Right now, it cruises on the freeway pretty well. With the gears that's in the differentials right now, it doesn't seem to be at a lot of RPM on the freeway. But speaking of the differentials, we're gonna go through the axles, clean, reseal them, just inspect all the condition. With the body off, that's gonna give us access to everything. So we're gonna be doing suspension. We'll probably replace everything that's a wear item on this, all the rubber, all the bushings, go with probably a new spring set. The brakes feel pretty good, so we'll just inspect those, freshen those up. It's got disc brakes.
What are the discs in the front and drums in the back?
Discs in the front, drums in the back.
So hold on, so we're gonna take the actual body off the frame. We're not gonna pull the engine trans out. We're gonna take the body off instead and leave the engine and drivetrain on the chassis.
Right, and that way it'll give us like full access to the whole drivetrain, make any types of repairs a lot easier, make taking the engine out a lot easier. Instead of going this high with the engine, I can just kind of slide it out this way.
Right, and then when we're talking about rebuilding it, that's a complete disassembly, right?
Yeah, the engine's gonna come out, it's gonna go to a machine shop, get completely torn down, all the parts inspected. Anything that is worn or needs replacement, they'll do. And they'll probably ask us a million questions on what specs we want, and so we'll get down and dirty with that once we see the condition of this engine. That'll be good. That'll guarantee that you're gonna have a strong, fresh, big block in this thing.
So then when we take all the body off, is that when we're gonna do all the body work? Send this stuff over to SV?
Exactly, yeah. So we'll build a cart and put the body on a cart, and that'll make a lot easier access for the couple rust spot repairs that it's gonna need on the floor. The body is in pretty good shape, but Siggy over there, SV Body and Paint, takes good care of us, and he's gonna probably get all the little dents out. This matte color kind of hides anything that's on it right now, so I'm sure
whatever's underneath it. I mean, we know there's what, 3 layers of paint?
It's been
4?
Yeah.
Something like that. A lot of layers of paint, and who knows what's hiding underneath that.
Yeah, so we'll strip all that off, get down to the nitty gritty on it, and repair anything that needs it.
So body's gonna go to bare metal on a cart, and then it'll get painted first and then come back here?
Yep.
If you guys have any ideas for color and design scheme, just drop it in the comments, because we are kind of up in the air. I really like the matte, gray, what is this, gray, black?
Yeah.
But, you know, some people have some different ideas. I've seen some different things in there. Some people want to Rhino line the whole thing. What else under the hood we're gonna need? We're gonna need air conditioning.
Yeah, we'll put a vintage air unit in there, maybe some nice pulleys and brackets for the front accessory drive. And when the body's off too, we're gonna be able to really see the chassis. So I kind of wanna clean all the paint, strip this chassis. We might coat it with something good like steel it. It's kind of the way to go in the off-road industry now. You can see if there's any stress cracks, we'll weld those up, maybe reinforce any stress points that these have.
Be interesting to see what's under there.
Yeah, it'd be good access when the body's off. We'll really be able to see everything. And same with the body. We'll be able to see the condition of the body a little better from underneath without all the attachment points in our way.
Yep. What about this bumper? I know we talked about a couple different things. We could, this kind of looks badass, but I don't know that I love it. I'd love to see maybe a more stock looking bumper.
Yeah.
But then there's also some cool stuff in the off-road industry that I've seen on some of our other builds. And I forget the brand name of the company that's doing like body armor or something like that.
Yeah, and yeah, there's a few different companies making like a more modern take on this big, beefy steel bumper. This is something you would see in the 70s typically. You know, somebody would get some thick steel, and this thing's probably indestructible. I wouldn't want to run into it.
Totally.
But, you know, there's a little bit better styling now. Maybe something with an integrated winch mount. It'd be good to have a winch on this thing. Hopefully you never need it, but you never know. It is
better
that type
to have
of
it
vehicle.
and not need it.
And the steel roof is white, so we'll have to pick a color that kind of accents whatever
Yeah,
we
like
go
if
with.
we're gonna two-tone that or do it all one color, I definitely want the truck to be able to go with no top mostly.
Right.
But then if you do want to put the top on, I want it to look good when the top's on. So.
And I kind of want to integrate a back charger stripe on the rear quarter panel somewhere.
Oh, that'd be kind of
That
dope.
might be kind of cool. Tell us what you think. I don't know. Is
Yeah.
that a good idea? Bad idea? On the exterior too, as far as the body goes, it's got these nice side steps to help us shorter folks get in and out of it. But they make the nice like amp research, or there's even some that are a rock slider now that we've used on.
They're rock slider when they're up, right? But then when you open the door, they pop down.
I think that'd be nice. They'd clean up the side and it'd be functional.
Yeah, that'd be super cool.
You know, these tires are pretty much brand new. So I don't mind keeping these. This is a great tire. It's a good size for this. We might change the wheels.
Depending on the color scheme, I think, once we
Right.
figure out what we're gonna do for color. But obviously, let's get down to bare metal first, and then we
Yep.
can start talking about color.
Yeah.
And then some of this glass, I think this might be like original glass,
Yeah.
but it's definitely fogged down here.
Yeah, it's starting to kind of delaminate, so we'll probably replace that. You know,
We'll try to keep as much original glass as we can, but yeah, some of this looks...
Yeah, definitely all the seals and stuff. We'll go through all those. They're not in bad shape, but we might as well. We're gonna have to take it all out, so we'll put all new stuff in.
Yeah, definitely.
And then moving on to the interior.
Yeah, I mean, it's all gonna come out. Obviously, when we have to do all that repair work to the seat pan and everything else.
Yep.
I like these seats. You know, my instinct is always like, oh, let's put in some nice leather ones, but I also kind of want them to be like waterproof.
Well, those are the original seats. This passenger one does have a pretty neat mechanism to flip it forward so that you can have access to the back. So if we do change the seats, I want to keep that mount so that we can still get in and out of the back. So that's kind of a neat feature. But yeah, we could upgrade
It
the
also
seats.
has a little secret hidden compartment down here.
Yeah,
It's kind of
a
cool.
little cubby for you.
We could kind of fix that up. But obviously all the carpet will come out. We'll dynamat this whole truck, put, you know, nice new carpet in, and then go from there. I know a lot of people talked about the sound system, which I think is probably pretty important in a truck like this.
Yeah, we'll definitely upgrade the speakers, probably upgrade the head unit. The whole dash we're gonna restore, new dash pad, probably clean and paint this whole
Just
metal
replace
piece.
this stuff, right? Like where this one's cracked.
Yeah.
Do you think we can find those? Are those OEM, or what do we have to do to find those?
That's a good question. I don't know if they're reproduced or we can get a good used one, or maybe have that one reshaped and covered.
Help us out, YouTube. If you know anything about these 75 Ramchargers, and I know we are lucky enough to have a couple commenters who've owned this exact same
that's
truck.
awesome.
So
I love that.
if there's any like ideas on what to do with the dash, or if there's repro dashes, or I guess we just got to try to find an OEM one that's in good shape, let us know if there's some possibilities there, because obviously we want to freshen this whole thing. Maybe tighten these up. There's a couple gauges down there. Maybe we could just use the original gauge cluster and just do like Dakota Digitals or
Get
Autometers
those
or
nice
something.
and functional. What about that center console? I think it's seen better days. It looks cool, but they have some nice ones that have like a good locking compartment now.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. You can store your valuables, especially if the top's always going to be off.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to have something to lock up there. I know somebody in the comments suggested a cooler, which I think would be fun, but somewhat dangerous and possibly illegal.
Yeah, it could be, depending on what kind of beverages.
What's
you
in
have
the cooler, I guess, is more important.
But yeah, so
definitely
pretty basic in here, but yeah, we can. There's
super
room for
basic, but
improvement.
I think we can make it super nice with a nice locking center console with some compartments in there. Maybe do like a charger for your phone.
Yep.
Kind of just a more modern look right there. We can maybe keep those original AC controls.
Yeah, the vintage air will probably integrate the original controls. We have the original vents. Since this was an AC truck, we're kind of ahead on that. We don't have to make a bunch of holes in the dash and figure out vents, so that's good.
That's always fun. And then obviously all that stuff will get sanded. Our famous drip in the middle will get sanded and painted there.
Yep.
This huge AC box is probably coming out.
Yep, that'll get replaced with a vintage air unit.
What about the shifter for the transfer case? Do you think we can keep that same?
Yeah, we'll just clean it up. It looks like the chrome just needs to be touched up.
What do you think about the transfer case overall? I know you said it was that chain drive.
Yeah, so it's not the strongest thing. Like if you're gonna go rock crawling aggressively, you'd probably start running into some issues, but it is unique in its function where it's kind of all-wheel drive. And that's kind of what makes these trucks good in like basically all types of weather. So I think that's kind of what we're gonna keep. We're gonna keep that character where it has that unique function, and it'll be good when you're driving on roads where there's snow or a little bit of mud.
Anything.
Yeah, I don't see us going for a rock crawler, like that specific hardcore of a truck with this. More of like a resto mod. Basically, we'll improve upon this thing.
Yeah.
And let it do what it does best from the factory.
Yep. So all the glass will come out, all the interior will come out. We'll get the body work done, and we'll go from there. So I think that kind of covers the first couple steps of this build. As always, drop your suggestions, questions, all that stuff in the comments below. Again, we're going to give this truck away when we get to 100,000 subscribers, and we are quite a bit away from that, which is good in a way because we have a lot of work to do on the truck, but we do also want to get there so that we can hand somebody the keys to this thing. So be sure to share these videos with your friends, try to get more people onto the channel, and we'll give away the truck that much faster. And then stay tuned as we are going to get to work tearing this thing apart.
That's it.